Carrera grinned. Then she gave the order, the malice palpable in her thoughts. Tell Agera to tear him to pieces and crush his very soul. Carrera's voice echoed in Esprit's brain. This is the will of Sir Benimere as well. Failure is not an option for you. Oh, great, lamented Esprit, now all the officers will know about my power. Carrera had forced herself into her mind, but there was nothing to be done about that. It wouldn't be the first time her boss treated her unfairly like that. Consoling herself with that, Esprit called out to Agera. Hey Agera. Lady Carrera and the others are really mad right now, you know. We better get rid of this guy soon, or we might be in trouble, too. I can't help but wonder why Lady Carrera is aware of our situation in here, but let's drop that. For now, we must resolve ourselves. Our masters have been insulted. It is time to give this man exactly what he deserves. Wow, you're really pissed off, too, aren't you? Esprit let out a sigh. Agera was usually so calm, but now he was beyond indignant. There'd be no stopping him now and, really, this was a good thing. If Agera was about to get serious, the right thing to do was sit back and watch him. Garcia, failing to pick up on any of this, began shouting again. You guys are all weak as crap, aren't you? Just give up and die already. And don't worry, I'm sure your masters have all been taken care of already. Now you'll get to serve them in the afterlife, just like you do now. This commentary was faithfully transmitted back to Carrera, and not just her, but everyone else, too, via thought communication. What a joke this man is. What is Agera doing? Didn't I just tell him to whoop his ass? Are you kidding me? Ugh, don't embarrass us out there. Good thing for him Xian wasn't here. If she was, our whole operation would have been ruined just now. Good point. Hey, if you're having trouble in there, we can swap out, but either way, get moving. Amidst the chaos, Esprit's frustration mounted. Despite his crude behavior, Garcia possessed a lethal strength and magic resistance that rendered her spells useless. Meanwhile, Agera remained stubbornly on the defensive, refusing to strike. Fearing the wrath of their superiors and the ruin of their demonic pride, Esprit realized they needed a victory before their reputations vanished entirely. What's the matter, huh? Is running away all you can do? Now Garcia was in his element. But Agera showed no signs of a counterattack. Hey, Agera. We're in real trouble here, okay? You have to hurry, or else Lady Carrera really will turn her fury upon us. The full fury of their boss would make even the powerful demons serving her quake in their boots. If it was directed at them, the sheer horror would be unbearable. Esprit, normally quite easygoing, was now in a real rush to get things moving. But Agera kept silent. Zonda, meanwhile, was preparing tea a safe distance away, like he had nothing to do with this. Apparently he wanted to serve it to their commanders once they were out of here, but from Esprit's point of view, it was beyond ridiculous. Hey, Zonda. I let you out of my sight for a moment, and now what are you doing? Well, isn't it obvious? Sir Agera is not injured at the moment, so I have little to do. Don't give me that crap. Why am I the only one feeling any pressure from our leaders here? Esprit was all but lunging at him. That's none of my business, Zonda replied with a breezy smile. I swear I'll kill you, Esprit thought, gritting her teeth. Zonda was on the Viscount level, Esprit count, and yet he wasn't the slightest bit afraid of her. But I suppose you need to be that thick-skinned to serve Lady Ultima, don't you? So Esprit stopped thinking about it any further. If Zonda was useless, all she could do was beg Agera to do his best. He was emotionally agitated, no doubt about that, but there must be some reason why he refused to attack. If he was aiming for some sort of hole to strike, Esprit would just have to count on that happening sometime soon. But then Agera shocked her out of nowhere. Esprit, I will tell you what I understand so far. What? It seems, much to my chagrin, that it is impossible for me to defeat this man solely by myself. Huh. You've got to be screwing with me, Esprit thought. There was no way she could contact her bosses and simply say sorry, we can't. Carrera was usually a playful, chill kind of demon, but rile her up, and things go out of hand quickly. In fact, isn't she watching all this right now? Before her bosses had a chance to rage over this, she had to confirm with Agera what he meant. What are you talking about? It's quite simple. As this man revs himself up, both his offensive and defensive capabilities receive a boost. I've just realized that no matter how often I hit him with my sword, I would never be able to kill him. The effects of Alternative, that ultimate enchantment and in particular, its sub-skill Subjugation Conquests were combining with the legend class Garcia, had on to upgrade his defense to god class level. Agera, realizing this, concluded that his blade could no longer slash through it. Is that why my magic didn't work, either? Indeed. He is not at all nimble in his movements, but if I cannot wound him, then we are getting nowhere. What Agera said made sense. All Esprit could do was scowl and nod her agreement. And if they couldn't win, that was the news she'd have to report to Carrera, a terrible shame upon the two of them. She had eyes, too, and just like Agera, she concluded they were inferior to their adversary in force. Despite their mastery, Esprit's demon peers were helpless against ultimate enchantments. Lacking a true dragon's overwhelming will, their techniques shattered. They realized the grim truth. Against an ultimate skill, refined skill alone can never achieve victory. Ha 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 ha. Now do you see the difference? Have you given up yet? Garcia laughed, certain his stalling tactics would hold until reinforcements arrived. Unfazed by his arrogance, Esprit clicked her tongue, turning to Agera to begin their serious counterattack. You knew this would have happened even if you were allowed to challenge the condo guy, didn't you? Did you have no plan to win it all today? Agera grinned at this. Of course I do. I have a secret plan, and I need your cooperation for it to work. Esprit had no right to refuse. Very well. Tell it to me. It was Agera's plan all along to rope Esprit in like this. She usually acted all aloof from the world, but she had her hedonistic side as well. If he simply asked her for a favor at the start of all this, she would never have said yes. That was Esprit for you, a demon who loved it when her friends came crying to her. Agera was well aware of this, so he decided to hold out until Esprit truly had no option left but to help him for a change. Of course, if that attracted Lady Carrere's ire, I might have been purged as well. He was very pleased to win that bet. But before Esprit could change her mind, he needed to tell her about this secret plan. I am going to transform my will into a blade with which to strike him down. That is the only way. Against Garcia's absolute defense, Agera's speed meant nothing. To transcend his limits, he focused his spirit and listened to the voice of his blade. Becoming one with his steel, the master swordsman finally found his answer. So our will cannot pierce his armor. Trust in me, Esprit. You may not be the equal of your master Lady Carrere, but you are still up to levels of talent that make you a true master. I know swords are not your cup of tea, but you still have a talent for them. Thus I believe you are worthy of my trust. Ha! What are you talking? Place your hand on my back. I will take care of the rest. Esprit was puzzled. Little of what Agera said made sense. But in the end, she decided to believe in him. The swordsman was standing up straight as Esprit touched his back as she was told. Garcia was on the scene, already ridiculing them. Oh, finally given up, have you? Well, I'll make it easy for you right now, okay? I'm sure your master, the demon Lord Rimuru, has met his match by Lady Valgren's hand by now. A pitiful end for a pitiful little monster, but at least now you can guide him to the afterlife. What? Here was one statement that was absolutely unforgivable. You even think Sir Rimuru, our god, is a lowly monster. And as if that weren't enough, you believe he is dead by now. The officers outside the gate, hearing this through Esprit, looked visibly different now. But even before that, Agera and Esprit, too, had run out of patience. All right. I appreciate you retaining your cool when I was insulted earlier, but if you're going to stay calm after that, you're no demons at all. I hereby give you permission to kill him now. Carrere didn't need to give the order. The two of them intended to do just that. Use my powers well, Esprit. I don't know what this is all about, but alright. I'm gonna kill that bastard. The pair let their fury move them. Throwing his full consciousness into his blade, Agera spoke to it directly and that awakened a new power in him. Let me answer your wish. Sharpen your mind, and make yourself into a blade. He thought he could hear a beautiful voice saying that, but he wasn't completely sure about it. Regardless, the power was clearly in Agera's hands now. My body is a blade, an immortal blade, destroying my enemies. Agera activated his ultimate gift, transforming into a radiant platinum sword for Esprit. With fluid grace, she unleashed the Aboro Shinmerayu's secret art, the multi-layered blossom flash scattering ethereal flower petals, with a single devastating strike. Are you dead, you piece of trash? Ha. Wah. Garcia's absolute confidence in his ultimate defense shattered in a blinding flash. As Agera transformed into a divine blade, Esprit struck with reality-defying speed. His armor crumbled like paper as 8 lethal slashes ended his life in an instant. Now, all that remained of the proud warrior was a crimson soul core, resting coldly in Esprit's hand. This one's red, huh? Certainly fits him, Esprit muttered. You think? Because I think he was merely an upstart who didn't know his place, Agera replied as he reverted to his regular form. He glared dolefully at the Red Bull. No warrior will remain silent when his master is insulted, you fool. But, I should have been warning my lord about this, but instead I let myself be incensed at the words of a small man. Esprit offered him some rare words of consolation. Now, what could you do? He was insulting Sir Rimuru himself. Even Lady Carrere gave her permission. Why be so hard on yourself? Yes. Well, let's leave it at that, shall we? Agera resolved within himself to take this as a lesson and grow from it. He looked toward Esprit, a little envious of her. Now, clearly, Agera had acquired a new ability. And he remembered who he was before he was bored living as one who trained to master the blade. Not all of his memories came back to him, but the mastery he had gained then was now back inside his body. Regained, or perhaps recreated, was the more correct term. Transforming into a blade via the art of Aboro, Agera realized his true origin. Before his life as a demon, he was a master samurai whose soul was always one with his sword. My name was Baikuya Rocky, then. I suppose that if I went around using the name of a dead man, it'd do nothing but confuse everyone. The visage of Hikuro flashed through his mind. All his disciples grew into great swordsmen, taking on the newly invented style known as a Bora Ryu, or Cresswater. Agera himself had changed the name to that because he felt that Shinmei Ryu, or hard life style, struck too conciliatory a tone for an anti-monster school. It was a funny memory to recall right now. Ha ha ha. But I suppose I've come around on Shinmei since Sir Rimuru named me, haven't I? No need for me to step in, then. Agera watched his legacy flourish. His grandson Hikuro had passed his sword skills to Rimuru. Content to leave his past identity behind, the swordsman turned and returned to his master, career.